Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hunky Dory TV and our third Technique Tuesday. We would like to welcome you all. This is it's like an online class in a way, but it's a little bit more informal and quite relaxed. And really, it's just experimenting. And sometimes you buy products and then you don't do anything with them because you're not sure, but you just bought them on a whim or because they look delightful and you liked what you saw, and then you go, oh my goodness, I'm a bit afraid to use them. So we're going to try and get you over any fear that you have if you've already bought these products. If you haven't, then today will be a good day to get them because they're on a really good deal. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you some how-tos, we're going to do a little bit of experimentation, and just some tips and some tricks and some ideas, and of course we might find a few new ways of using these products as we go along. But before we do that, we're going to just remind you of our Win It Weekly competition, which, as you know, we launched on a Monday. We launched a new Win It Weekly competition yesterday, and you will be in with a chance of winning our beautiful Just a Note topper collection. Now, this is beautiful. If I turn this around and show you just some of the lovely ideas on the inspiration sheet, which you will get in this kit, you'll be able to say, there we go, let's get that in the right place, and pull it back a little bit, then you can see the ideas. You will see on here it features like novels, books, it's got clocks in there. It's a really, really lovely kit. What we need you to do is just like, share and comment, give us the answer to the question which you can now see on the screen. And the question is actually, it's not really a question, but it's kind of a bit, well, it's multiple choice, and it's from a sentiment in this kit. And it is, you hold the key to my A, house, B, car, or C, heart. You just need to decide what's the correct answer. Like, share and comment on the video, and you'll be in with a chance of winning this beautiful, beautiful Just a Note luxury topper collection. And we will, as usual, announce the winners on Friday's show. So, what have we got for you today then? Well, you'll already know, we mentioned yesterday that our Technique Tuesday this week would be featuring our fabulous Glimmer Mists. These are part of our Prism collection. And as you know, we have quite a large collection of Prism products now, ranging right through from inks, pens, we have our Glimmer Mists, which we are going to be showing you today. We have handbooks that accompany everything. So they'll give you ideas, they'll tell you how to use them, instructions, step-by-steps. So what we're going to do, let us introduce you first to our Glimmer Mist bundle. So this is what you can be treating yourself to today. Now in here we have all 12 of our Prism Glimmer Mists, and the handbook as well. Now the handbooks are usually like £9.99, £10 on their own, so this is a really, really great deal. These are beautiful, beautiful bottles of misting liquids, and they contain quite a lot of heavy pigment in here, mica pigment as well. So that means when you spray them, you get this lovely kind of pearly shimmer effect, and it reflects the light and it looks really, really magical. As you can see, we have 12 different colours. So these will include white and black, your bright colours, a couple more pastel-y ones, and then we've got a lovely silver, we've got a bronze in here, like a copper, we've got a gold as well. And they're really easy to use, and you can use them in lots and lots of different ways, which is what we're hoping to show you today. You can get them all today for £39.87. That's a massive, massive saving. Emily, can you just tell me, or do you know how much these cost? Can you buy them individually? Or, you know, if you like kind of use one more than the others, you know, you might be a bit of a red.
Yeah, they're £4.99 each.
Okay, that's what I thought, £4.99 each. So there's a massive saving there. And if you have been wanting them, or you're thinking you know someone in your life who might like them and you're struggling for a Christmas present, this can be really useful for them, because you can use it for all different crafts. Doesn't have to be just for card making. You can use them on model making, you can use them on art for the wall. We're going to be showing you what you can actually spritz them onto. So we've got all kinds of things. I've been in the craft room and I've thrown loads of stuff in a gift bag. So even ranging from like fabric and felt, acetate, mirricard, we've got Hessian in there, we've got all kinds of things. So we're going to be showing you a bit of, first of all, some techniquey things and what you can spritz them onto and what you can do with them as well. So let me also tell you as well, Emily, do we need to tell them about the offers we've got on, the other offers, or should we do those as we go along? What do you think?
Let's do as we go along.
Let's do them as we go along then. We've got some other little offers for you that you might be interested in. They're on really good prices. I mean, they're on amazing prices, really. So we will show you those as we go through. But first of all, let me show you Glimmer Mist bottle. So I've just grabbed one here. So this is how it comes to you. And we have projects, hints and tips on our website as well. So Hunky Dory Crafts, as you'll see on the bottom of the screen there, .co.uk. These are, if you're wanting to use these on your scrapbook layouts, they are acid free, so they won't cause harm to your photographs if you're creating a background and put your photos on there. Non-toxic as well. And we do recommend that there's adult supervision if you're using them with your children, because they are not toys, but you can create some lovely effects with these. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you why I've got the pink and the blue in my hand here. Last night before I went home, I did a few tests. I wanted to see if I spritz these onto things like acetate and mirricard, if it would dry and if it would hold, because naturally it's a glossy surface and you think, is this actually going to hold on a glossy surface? Well, it will. Let me show you. I've got a couple of examples down here and I'm going to grab them. So last night before I went home, I actually spritzed with some silver, some gold and some red onto some gold mirricard. Now obviously we're going to get some reflection from, just to let you know that it did work. I'm going to be showing you as well how this does work, and then you can see how it's actually created this effect on its own, which I absolutely love. It's a bit like the effect you get when you put like the lovely what do they call it, like the syrupy stuff that you put on your ice cream and you leave it, you know, when you buy a cornet and they put sauce on it, yeah, and then it just dribbles all down inside. It kind of is like that effect, but that is on gold mirror and that will dry. It actually looks as well a bit like it's rained on it, so it's really quite nice. We would recommend, however, if you're spraying it onto mirror, I'm going to show you the same here on silver, which I did with the pink and blue. We really like this, don't we, Emily? We love this effect here. What happens is when you spray it, you get the fine mist on there and you got these tiny little droplets. Now on mirricard, because it's not porous, you have to leave it a while. Then some of those droplets almost expand because they can't be absorbed into there immediately. So what happens is you can see where you get these tiny little spritzed areas here, and then it expands and you get these big blobby effects, which is really nice. What we recommend you do when you've actually spritzed onto mirror and it's dry is seal it with like a spray varnish, because then you can touch it. It still feels a little bit kind of tacky, but it doesn't come off on your hands, and then you can use it on any of your projects. So those are just two little examples there. Now let me pop those to one side. I'm going to show you as well that I actually spritzed it onto vellum last night. Now it's curled up a little bit because I did go a bit crazy with it, but as you can see it works on vellum and parchment too. Now I haven't sealed this with anything, I've just spritzed it on and left it there, and it's dried nicely overnight. It has curled up a bit, but you may want to just you can secure that with brads maybe, or some double-sided tape. So that's on parchment and vellum. Now then, I have also, if I can just grab this, I spritzed with bright colours this morning actually, just to show you. If you do it on a matte card, it dries really quickly, and this is on our craft card, and this time I've just used red, yellow, green and blue, and again the lovely mica shines through here. It's probably a little bit better. Let me lift it up a little bit to see if I can show you just how I can see it really well on the blue there. There we go, you can see it, how lovely it is and how you get that proper mica shimmer on there. It's delicious. And then what we've done, sprayed some of the white and some of the silver and some of the copper, I think, onto black cardstock. So again, you can create snowy scenes. You can actually create like a starry sky at night. But look at the mica shine on there when we tilt it. You know, you get the lovely silver, you get the white, you get the gold. Even if you never put it on a project, it's really nice to just sit, spritz, let it dry, and then just sit and look at it like that for hours on end. It's beautiful. And then I also, this morning, I'm just going to grab this now because this is just a little bit further down here. Oh, and I've just dropped it on the floor. So let me just grab that because this is something that I didn't think would work that well, but it has. I'm just going to grab it. It is actually, I've actually done it onto acetate, and it is totally amazing because I did the pink and I did yellow. Now you can see I've put it against white so it will show up. But if I lift it up to the camera, it's quite amazing because it has dried. Now it feels tacky at the minute because I think you need to let it dry for a little while longer, but look how amazing that is. So I'm thinking if you have got some acetate and then you run out of a little bit of your snowfall acetate, you can create something like this with your white Glimmer Mist. So again, it's really useful. Even if you only have the one white one, you know, you can still create some lovely effects. So that's just a few ways of showing you that it will go onto mirror, it will go onto acetate, it will go onto parchment, all the things that you think it might not go onto. So what I've done, I have grabbed my bag here and I've grabbed a selection of different cardstocks because I wanted to show you that, because you've not seen me do that, I want to show you that this does actually work properly. So we've got here some of our lovely glittery shimmer card, we've got some of our black and our ivory stamping card, we've got acetate here, we've got mirror. And I did grab as well because I thought, you know what, we have to absolutely try it on rainbow mirror. My goodness, we absolutely have to. If we do nothing else today, we have to try it on there. And then I've got some regular cardstock. I've got some of our gorgeous grunge, matastic, adorable cardstock. We've got craft card. We've got Ink Me. We've got premium watercolour card as well. So as you can see, we've got lots of things. I have got some other items in my bag, which we're going to try it on as well, including like pine cones, artificial flowers, and then we've got some cling film, we've got some bubble wrap, so we can do some swiping and some swooshing and all kinds of different things. We are hoping to make a couple of cards as well, but we'll see how we go because we've got some masks to show you and some embossing folders as well. So what we're going to start off with first, we're going to do a little bit of spritzing. So what I want to do, I want to show you the effect it has on some of our premium cardstock first of all. Now this is what we use with our watercolour pens, also our inks. We use it for our watercolour pencils, but it's beautiful. So let's grab, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the gold and I'm going to get the bronze and I'm also going to get the, let me find my silver. So let's use these three first. Okay, that's the bronze, we don't want that, that's the white. So we've got the silver dollar, we've got the glamour gold, and we've got the bronze penny. Now when you get them, you need to kind of, as we say in the handbook, you need to wake them up. So basically you need to shake it. Now you'll hear the ball inside there, that's what rolls around in there and gets the mica mixed with the liquid to make sure that it's all flowing, it's all spaced out evenly. What I'll do before I spritz this, I'm going to show you the bottle at the bottom here. So you can see the bronze here and you can see the silver. Now what happens is that's the mica settling at the bottom. Now because I've just spritzed this, not spritzed it, because I've mixed it around, it kind of dissipates in there and it means that it's mixing. You can see now at the bottom here we've got bubbles because we've stirred it around, and you'll actually see as well in there sometimes you can see the ball at the bottom, and that's what makes the bubbles in there and it kind of gets it going. So we have just spritzed, so we've mixed that. Now we're going to spritz this. So this is the gold. Now then, what we recommend is that you do this in a box. So I'm bringing in one of my trusty cardboard boxes from our packing department, and this is perfect because it's a shallow box. If I put the sides down like this, then you can see how we can use this. Now then, there's a couple of ways of using it. You can actually spritz directly flat into here, or depending what effect you want to create, you can tilt it up so that it's kind of like that and do it that way. Now if you spray from far away, you will get a fine mist. If you spray close up, you will get blobs. So what we're going to do, and I just need to move the iPad out of the way because that could be terrible. I don't want to have to buy a new iPad for everyone. So we've knocked that out of the way now, just for now. So we are shaking our Glamour Gold. Now if you stop for a minute because you're having a sip of your tea or you need to let the cat out or whatever, shake it again because it does settle fairly quickly. Okay, so we've got this going. What we're going to do, I'm just going to do a couple of examples of if we do it from far away. Okay, we're doing it from far away there so you can see how small the droplets are. If I bring it in close, like this, it becomes deeper and it also becomes more, you get more droplets in there and it's tighter together. Okay, so let's put some silver on here now. We're going to do a little bit of a mix on here. And remember, part of this is, if you've never done kind of mixed media and stuff before, this can be a bit daunting to you because you think, you know what, I don't have any control. A lot of it is about practice. Okay, now if when you've pressed it down for a spritz, if you hold onto the cap, hold it down for a minute, you'll get a bigger blob. So if I show you like that. Okay, now we're going to do some of the bronze. So, oh, I've just thrown my lid across the room. That's how keen it was to get out of the bottle. Okay, now I'm tilting my bottle more now, so I'm getting a bigger set of blobs. Okay, we're going to go back in with some more gold now. Let's try this again. Okay, let's turn it around a little bit and get this other side going. Now we recommend using a cardboard box because the cardboard box will grab the watery section and it will just absorb it. If you do it in a plastic box, it can stay quite wet. Right, okay, so we've put gold on there, we've put silver on there, and we've put our lovely copper. See, this is the thing now, because you go, oh my goodness, I want to put more of the copper on. Okay, so I've totally covered that. I'm going to leave that now. I want that to dry, and then we'll come back to that and we can show you what that looks like, and we can tilt it so you can see the colours on what you would expect to be, because they are silver. They are also gold and copper. You would want those to expect those to be a little bit more mirror-like, but you can see how that has worked now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop that there, let it dry for a minute. So because I need that box again in a minute, what I want to do now is I want to actually spritz some onto some cling film. Okay, so we were just talking, myself and Emily, before about things we could show you, and I said, you know what, we could actually stand here for a day and show you different techniques. Now then, what we want to do, if I show you first before I actually use the cling film, because I've just had another thought which I think will work quite nicely. Let's put our cling film there first of all. So let's use some pink, some green and some purple. Right, so let's spritz these onto the mat. Right, so I've got a big glass mat here. I'm going to push everything away that I don't want to get covered in it because it can get quite messy. Okay, so let's grab another piece of card and we need to shade these. So we're going with purple first. Have some wipes ready, or a cloth, a kitchen roll, blue roll, whatever it is you've got, some, you know, an old cotton t-shirt, something that you might want to tear up and use just to get everything wiped in between. Okay, let's pop all our lids there. That'll give us a little bit more time. Right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to spritz on the mat. Okay, I'm going to spritz some green. I'm going to spritz some purple. And while that's wet, I'm going to put my card straight on top. I'm going to press it down. Now this is something you will have probably tried with your inks, because this is a really nice way of picking up the colour. Don't worry about it, you know, coming onto the back here. It's the back we're going to be, you know, cutting that off after, so you are sticking it down, so you won't see that anyway. That's going to be.
Question, Sheila.
Yes.
After you use the mist, do you need to unscrew the nozzle and wash it for use next time?
No, no, you don't. You can just leave it exactly as it is. Because it doesn't, I mean, you can, if you want to, you could take a wipe and, you know, just wipe it like that. But I don't bother. As long as you put your lid back on, that will keep it airtight and that will be fine. You'll find as well, of course, that because you've got you don't need to clean this. You would possibly clean it if you were using a different bottle. If you were using, say if you'd mix your own colours, or you'd put something else in the bottle, in a clear bottle like we've got here, because you can put 2 different colours in there and mix it. You can then just put this nozzle bit in a bowl of water and spritz it like until it goes clear. But I wouldn't do it with these, because that's going to then, well, there's just no need to. That's why they're all in individual bottles. So I wouldn't be doing that at all. Just leave it as it is. But you can just wipe that bit if you want to, and then put your cap back on. Your cap will keep it all nice and airtight. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this off here now. Now you'll see how easy this comes off, and I'm just using a wipe. And it does dry quite quickly, but you can wipe it off. Let's grab another one. So that's just doing a spritz there, and I've just stuck my card on top of it, so you can see how that is. And you can see how it does its own thing. Okay, it does its own thing. It goes like splattered, it goes stretched, it does its own thing. And that's because we've put it on the glass mat. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to scrunch up a bit of cling film. Let me just grab a bit of my blue roll to wipe the mat. I'm working on a glass mat today, because you can do it on the rubber mat, but the rubber mat, you know, it's a bit harder to clean. The glass mat is always good. All right, so the next thing we want to do then is grab some cling film. Now, I haven't tried it with cling film before. What I'm going to do this time, I'm going to put it on some Ink Me cardstock. So I'm going to cut my Ink Me down so it's a little bit small. I don't want a whole A4 sheet, so I'm just going to cut it in half like that. So we've got a smaller piece. Right, so you've got cling film here now. This is soft, as you know, so this will create a totally different effect. What I want to do is I want to actually crunch it up like this. So if you imagine you put it like around your sandwiches, it gets all like scrunched up. I mean, what you can do, in fact, is scrunch it a lot like this. Okay, so I'm just playing here. So let's just get some scrunchy bits like this. Ooh, I quite like this. I quite like the feel of this. Okay, and we're almost like smashing it onto the mat there. So remember, I haven't tried this technique before, so this could be absolutely dreadful, but it could be delightful. So let's use some, this time let's use some red, some yellow, and we might do purple, we might do orange actually. So let's shake this. Get that ball rolling about in there to make sure that mica is spread nicely through the liquid. Okay. And I'm doing some little squirts and some big squirts, because then we can get some droplets on. Let's do some orange. I'm going right close up with that, and then a bit further away to get some bigger blobs. We'll do a bit of blue as well. Let's go mad, as they say. Ooh, I'm quite liking what's happening up here in this corner. Should put a bit of green on as well. I've no idea what's going to happen now, but I'm quite excited about this. I'm going to put it on at an angle because I like this bit up here. Remember, when you're doing this, you can do it with all kinds of things. You know, you can use bubble wrap, you can do plastic bags, you can do paper bags, you can do fabric, which we're going to spritz on as well. And then you can keep all these backgrounds and come up with something lovely at the end. Let's see what's happened here. Oh my goodness, this is a bit look at this. Oh my word, that is crazy. How crazy is that? Now when it dries, you'll get that mica shine as well. I can see some of it now because it's drying already. If you need it to dry quickly, then what you can do is use your heat tool. I love that effect. Isn't it clever? Cool. That's really, really great effect. And that's just with cling film. Now you can see we've still got some extra bits on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of black on here while that's all crunched up. And let's see what happens now. Let's create another background here with some different colours. I'm going to do black and yellow on here. We've still got a little bit of red on there. There's a tiny bit of blue up and down. Some big blobs, I think, on here. And then let's do a bit of pink. I love the pink. The pink is really, really bright. So let's do... Oh my goodness, look at the colours on there. Right, so let me grab my half sheet here that we just cut. And let's get this on. Let's go down this side here, see what happens with this. I mean, we used to do something similar to this in the 80s when we used to do stippling. So we would get like a natural sea sponge, dip it into a tray of emulsion and stipple the whole wall. I mean, I used to do something different every couple of months in my house. And I used to do it in like the porchway, I did it in the kitchen. Oh my goodness, you've never seen anything like it. But I used to just love it and then paint over again when I got fed up of it. Okay, so now look at this one. I love this. I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit kind of, how would you describe that, Emily? It's like, is it like fabric-y or?
Yeah, it just looks like an imitation of fabric, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like really proper kind of artsy, isn't it? You know, like when people just throw paint splats at a wall and then sell it for £25,000. It's a bit like that. So if you see these on a website later on, you'll know I've decided to sell them. Now then, let's lift up the cling film now. And you can see now, I mean, it's really, it's not that dirty actually, is it? But let's do that. Now I wonder what happens. Let's grab another piece of card. Let's grab another piece of Ink Me. And because I've scrunched that up, right, if I dip it in here and then pat this onto my card, I wonder what effect this will have. Because then we're not wasting anything. I do quite like the effects that we're creating. Basically, we're just getting messy, aren't we? But there's no point in wasting it all. Okay, I'll grab those extra bits off there. So again, we're making all kinds of little effects, and this is just from everything we've got left on here. I'm hoping that by the end of the hour, we will have some different kind of backgrounds that we can incorporate into a project. Now then, I'm going to dig into my bag now, and I am going to see what else we can put this onto, because we've got all kinds of things. And I was talking before to Emily saying, you know, we can put it on this and we can try it on this. So let's have a rummage. We have got, oh, now then, for all you people who like making things and stitching and stuff, I wanted to know if it would go onto felt, because I like making little felt dolls and things. So I'm going to try it on felt, because if it works on felt, you will be able to make, like, you might be able to do little Christmas decorations and things. So I've got some white here. I'm going to try it on felt. I've never tried it on felt before. So like you, I am quite new to doing this on like different mediums. So let's try a little bit of black on there as well. So what it does, it grabs it, but it doesn't actually look like we spritzed it, unless we go in like that. And then let's get some red on there. A bit more of a... So it does work on felt. Okay, I know it looks quite messy, but you might be wanting to create something. Let me have a look at that. Let me feel. You still get that mica effect on it, and it feels like it's drying pretty quickly because obviously felt is porous. So you could in effect use it on felt as well. You can also use it on, let's see, let's grab, I told you we got a little cone, didn't I? So let's see if we can put it on a cone and spritz it and see what happens. Let's do, what do you think we should do? Should we try some, maybe try some, let's,
Gold or silver.
Gold or silver? Yeah, because then we might be able to make it quite nice. I'm going to actually sit it on the felt, just so I know it doesn't move. So let's see if we can. Now obviously this is, like it's grown on a tree, isn't it? So we need to, it might take a minute to dry on here. Let's try it again. A bit more on there. I should have probably gone with something a bit brighter. Let's try some gold on there. This is gonna have to, we're gonna have to leave this to dry because if you see a cone has got like little channels in there. There we go. So the gold is showing up a bit more. Like that, and let's try a bit of red on it as well for Christmas. So again, remember to shake it like crazy, just to get the ball going about in there, and then right. So what we'll do, we'll leave that on the felt to dry, and then we'll give it like 5 or 10 minutes. We'll come back to it because when the mica has dried on it, we should get that lovely pearly effect again. So let's just wipe up our mat here again, and our work surface where it's spritzed a bit. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just go back and look at the silver and the gold and the copper that we did when we first came into the room. You remember we did that in the box. Okay, let's wipe that up. This is the beauty of a glass mat. If you've not got glass mat, you know, you could use a big plastic bag, or you know, just a tray or something like that, but it does all clean up nicely. Right, let's pop that onto there so that will dry. Let me grab the gold and silver one that we did originally, and it's almost dry, it's not quite, but what we can do, we can dry this off. I think the heat tool is plugged in, so let's just dry it off a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try it on some ribbon I've got. Okay, so let's just dry off. You'll find that it's the bigger lumps that need to dry, the bigger splodges and the bigger blobs. They're the ones that need to actually dry out. But again, when I've done this before at home, I've just put it near the radiator, and it does dry fairly quickly. Okay, there you go, and you can see it drying as you put the heat tool on there. I think that's pretty much, oh, there's a bit in the middle there, pretty much dry. I love that one, I love the effect on there. So if I lift this up now, you'll be able to see, if I tilt it, you should be able to see the mica shining through on there, and the gold, and then here on the silver, you can see in this big blobby bit near my finger that it really is quite shiny and pearly. We've got the copper in there too, which is quite dark. It's darker than the gold, but it's really nice. So we've got quite a few effects going on now. Let's have a look. If I want to just show you some things in the handbook, because you can actually paint with it as well. So if we look in the handbook, it gives you a really good introduction. It tells you about all our Prism products as well, introduction to them, what they are, how to store them. And I'm not going to do everything from the handbook. It says about making swatches so you know what they are. We've done ours on watercolour card, except for the white frost and the silver dollar, which we put onto black just to get the best effect. But it tells you about the pump spray action, what it's made from, how to do it on the glass mat, adding it into an empty bottle to make your own colours, mixing on the page. Tells you about doing it in the box, how to clean, using masking tape, making different patterns, using it far away or close up, as we've just shown you earlier on, spraying from a distance, spraying close up, etc. Spraying over bits and bobs, so you might have like a piece of lace or even a die. You don't necessarily have to cut it. You could actually put a lacy die on and spritz through that. You can actually then spritz onto your cardstock like we've got here, and then use a cloth and spread it out to create a really nice effect. We've got bubbles. You can use straws. I'm not going to tell you everything that's in here, but it does give you loads and loads of ideas, using shaving foam, which you then spritz onto, putting it on a mirror, working on mirror card. There's loads and loads of things you can do with it. And of course, what we're going to do, we are going to show you some little deals that we've got on here today, which we thought would accompany these really well. So we have got for you some of our masks. Okay, now we've got different ones here, and I'm going to show you this one, which is a snowy snow globe. So we've actually got this one, which has got the snowflakes and the corner on here, and then you've got the little dotty effect. Again, a bit like a blizzard, so you could use that for your Christmas cards. Look at the price of those. They are only £1. They should be £3.50, which is nothing, but they're only £1. Then you've got the lovely knitted one, which is a favourite one of mine, and I think we'll probably try using that one shortly. Again, just £1. And then our third one here, it's got the alphabet on, and again baby, and then all those little baby elements on there, which is really, really quite cute. Now don't forget as well, you can use these with your pens, with your fine ends of your pens. You can also use them with your inks, which is what they were intended for, but you can use your glitter paste, your texture paste, all kinds of things. So what we're going to do, I have got somewhere, I think in my bag, I have got this lovely, the knitted mask. What was it called? Let me tell you what it was called. It was called Hooked on You or Hooked on You, depending on where in the country you actually come from. But to me, it's actually Hooked. So what I'm going to do, let's try it on a bit of cream card, this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just lie it over the edge here, because I just want to do this bit. I'm going to get my big tape, and I'm going to tape it over. So this is my big low tack tape. What I'm going to do is pop it here. So that will cover that pattern there, and we can pop it, let's move it a little bit further up so we've got a nicer area like that. Oh, I should do that straight for you, shouldn't I? That looks really wonky on the camera. Okay, and then we'll do the same down this side. Let's cover those bits. So again, we just want to do this like almost like a knitted heart it is. So take another piece of our low tack tape, put this across the bottom. So basically we're just covering up anything on the mask other than the bit that we want to spritz through. Okay, so let's press that down on there like that. Okay, right, what colour should we do, Emily, do you reckon? What do you think? Pink?
Pink.
Okay, so let's take our bright baby pink, which is quite nice. Okay, now it's nice and flat. What I'm going to do is just spritz through it like that. So I'm going to totally cover it like that. Okay. Now obviously we need to let that dry. So I'm going to leave it for a second. What I am going to do as well is show you while that's drying our other deals that we've got on the show. So we thought it'd be nice to use these as well with some embossing folders. So we've got some embossing folders on the show today. Let's show you this one first. So this is our Timeless Blossoms, and this is lovely because you can see that this has got roses and cogs, and it's got little dots in the middle, and it's really, really quite steampunk in a way. Should be $5.99 and it's $2.99 today. That's all it is. So we're going to be using this as well with some of the Glimmer Mists in a short while. And then we'll also have our second one, which is Where Flowers Bloom. This is a really nice one because this has got the flowers at the top corner and the bottom corner, but you'll see both designs are slightly different. And again, should be $5.99, but it's $2.99 today. They're on
the website as well.
There's more on the website, okay, at this price.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
All the bottom folders and all Global masks are all on offer for today only.
Just for today only. Okay, so if you want to grab yourself some bargain embossing folders, because there's a lot we've got on there, and masks, we've got loads of masks, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got, particularly we've got lots of Christmas ones as well, so have a look on there for £1. You know, you can use them in so many ways. I remember using one because a long time ago, and I actually mixed some corn flour with some PVA glue till it's quite thick consistency, and then I put it through the mask, and I just left it for a while till it just dried, and it dried. Don't do it too smooth. Just put it on with like a spatula or something, leave it, and it goes quite lumpy, but when you take off the mask, it creates an amazing effect underneath. What you can do as well, though, you can actually sprinkle glitter on while it's still wet, and it will look really quite nice. So I'm going to be quite keen here because I cannot wait, even though I'm looking through the middle section here has dried, which is good. So if we lift this off here like this, and then we can let the folder come up, the mask should I say, come up with us like that. Now I went a bit mad in the middle, but I quite like that effect. And there we go, and I'm loving the fingerprint I left at the top there. So that can be washed. We can stick that, I'm going to chuck that down there, and that can be just washed or wiped after. So let's take this to one side. So I'm thinking now we've got quite a few things here. Let's do a little project. While all these are drying, we're going to create a little project because I've got another couple of things I want to show you that I'd thought about. I didn't know if they would work. I've had one quick little go at it out in the office at my desk just to see if it would work, and I think it will. Let's have a look how our cone is going on, because our cone it's getting a little bit shimmery now, but it's still quite wet, so we're going to leave it a little bit more. I can see the gold coming through now, so we're going to leave it for a little bit longer. Another thing I had in my bag, which I stole out of the craft room because we've got loads of these, was some of our, it's like Hessian on a roll, and then also a rose. I thought, I wonder if I could spritz the rose with something, maybe the orange or something, because it's a peachy coloured rose, so that's an option. Also we have, I did think about this, I've got all kinds of stuff on my desk. Our dimensional card fronts, okay, I'm guessing that because we can spritz onto acetate, we could actually spritz onto this. So if you are doing a Christmas card, and whether it's a shaker card or not, I was thinking, I wonder if we could spritz with white on here to create it like a snowy effect, and then you could put that over a topper or some of your decollage. So we'll try that as well. Let's do, first of all then, let's do, I think what colour should we have on here? Let's have a look. Let's try some purple. So I'm going to get my box again for this. Let's pop that up there, and I'll just grab my box, which is behind me, and we'll put this in the box, and we're going to spritz onto here just to show you that you can. I'm going to do it from quite high up in the hope that it gives us a really fine mist on there, and again it soaks through really nicely. Now you can see there, if I've got a big drip coming out here and I want it to drop on there we go, because I want it to be a little bit more. I'm trying to squeeze a big drip out just by not letting it spray, but if you just wait a minute and shake it, a blob will come out like that. So you can create something a little bit more bonkers. Let's add some orange on it as well. So we shake the orange, get this ball rolling about in there. There we go. Takes a while to get it going, and you'll end up with a really big right arm muscle. Okay, let's get a bit. I know, who needs a gym? Just do some craft. Okay, so we're going to leave that in the box. Might try and get an orange blob coming out if I can. Let me. The orange is not quite as, it's not performing quite as much as the blob. So I'm going to leave that, let that dry, and then when it's dry I'm going to put some other colours on it as well, because I want to show you how you can, so you can just turn it over and have it totally different way. And then it might, you know, something like this would be great if for Halloween, you know, if you were making like a mummy or something, you know, you wrap it around like that, it looks quite good as an effect. So again, you might not be a card maker, you might be somebody that works in the theatre, so you could use something like this as well. You can see how it creates quite, I love that, it creates quite a good effect as well for people who might be doing dressing up things, all kinds of stuff, kids projects. Right, let's pop that down there. So what I have done as well, I have cut the word joy from our masking sheets, and I stuck it onto a piece of white ink me cardstock. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to coat this in red. Okay, so I'm going to put this onto a little bit of my blue roll here while my box is just down there drying. Let's do a bit of the blue roll like this, because we've got loads of this as well. Okay, like that. So what I want to do is spritz this in red, because I was thinking that Christmas as well. So let's give it a good old shake and completely cover that. Going to leave that for a minute. When we take this off, it's going to have then revealed the word joy underneath, and that's going to be in white. So we're going to pop that to one side for a second, and then I have a card. Did I bring my 7x5? Yes, I did. Card in. So we'll turn this over, and then we're going to do. In fact, we'll get another piece. Let's get another piece. I could probably bring the box back in now. Let's spray the front of the card with the green. So we're going to go with the lime green here. So I'm going to put 7x5 card in the box. We're going to get the green. I'm going to spritz it. So we're going with red, and we're going with the like lovely, it's actually called apple green, but it's really nice, and I love covering it like that. So it's a full kind of colour. Now we can add a bit of heat to that just to dry it a bit quicker. Even though it's drying quite quickly, it dries really quite quick on Ink Me, which I like. Okay. Oh, it's drying really nicely, and the shine on the mica is coming through lovely on this, because there's almost, in the green, there's almost a hint of gold as well, and it's so lovely. It's really nice. Okay, you might be able to pick that up in a minute. I shall lift that up in a second. I think it's actually dry, you know, but I am looking at it because it's quite lumpy as well, so it's really nice. If I lift this up, I don't know if you can see the sheen there. You can see it a little bit, can't you? Because when we tilt it, it looks like the colour disappears. That's actually the pearly mica showing through. You can see it there, can't you? It's really quite gold in the green. So let's pop that down there. Okay, and let's grab our red one and just check if that's dry. So I'm going to get my pokey tool now. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll get my pokey tool. And I'm just going to remove this from here. Okay, and let's grab that little corner there. Ooh, I like this. Oh, look how clean it is as well. It's really clean. Let's just find the end of the J. So it's giving a really nice effect. So if you imagine, you know, die cutting any of your favourite letters or favourite words or favourite, you know, you could do a number card. You could also do, what was I thinking of then? Like your shapes, like your flowers, your hearts, things like that. So I've got, while this is out here, what I'm going to do, I've got some red and green cardstock. This is our beautiful, adorable scoreable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the red onto the green, and then we're going to put that onto the red. So it's kind of really contemporary, and that will go on the card. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to grab my, I'll grab the guillotine because it's a bit nearer. Don't forget, if you need any paper trimmers or anything, they're all on the website. So we're going to go a little bit Christmassy here with this one. So let's pop this under here, and I'm just going to do a rough guide as to how much of an edging we need. So we'll go, let's go down there, move that out of the way, like this. Sorry, I'm not able to look at your comments today because the iPad is here if you are commenting. And we hope you're liking and sharing and commenting on the Win It Weekly competition so that you'll be in with a chance of winning. How many winners do we have?
5 winners.
5. Fabulous. That is good. 5 winners.
Said, the cardboard box is such a good idea. She wishes that she'd seen it before because she sprayed the desk and her newly painted wall.
Yeah. I have done that as well out in the office where my desk is. I'm next to a pillar, and the pillar was obviously in my way, and I got a bit on the pillar. Same when I was using the mica powders, I was testing those when we got those, and I did the same thing again. So yeah, the cardboard box is definitely a good idea. And as we say in the handbook, if you actually put a piece of cardstock or a piece of paper in the bottom of the box, you will actually get a really nice patterned effect too. So you know, once you get to finish your spritzing, if you then look at the pattern that's you've created with all your different colours on the piece of card that's in the bottom of the box, you can use that as well for a background. Okay, so we've now got our joy there on the green, and look how simple that is, but how that stands out. It's really, really clear. I love that, and it can be used as a Christmas card, or it could be used for, you know, someone's personalised, you know, plaque to go on someone's door if their name is Joy. Obviously, if their name is not Joy, then you could change it to, you know, I always feel when I go into my craft room, there's great joy. So, you know, there's joy in this room today because we are crafting. But I really do like to use them. I really like to use them as spritz, just as spritzers myself, because I like the all over effect you can create. I like the way that if you spritz a lot, you get like this totally covered effect, and it feels lovely. It feels really nice when you actually touch it, because it has got some texture to it. Okay, let's pop that on there. So now we have got our little, oh, I'm loving this. I wish you could see it actually in the flesh, because it's really, really quite textured, and it's got a lovely, lovely glow to it. So what we're going to do now, I think we'll grab some pads for this. So this is a simple one, but again, it's really nice just to show if you don't want to do anything with the Glimmer Mists other than spritz them, then you can do that and you can still create a nice effect. I did think about getting some old door keys, putting door keys on a piece of card, maybe like on some of the grunge, gorgeous grunge adorable scoreable. I thought about doing some keys on a piece of that. As you know, I live in an old vicarage, and when we moved into the vicarage, there were, there must be 100 keys, and none of them fit any doors, but they're just in there in a bag and a tub. And there's some keys, I'm not joking, they're like this big, they're like keys for a dungeon, But some of those I might try it actually and then put something on my page, my Hunky Dory page. Some of those keys like laid on here and then let them hang over and then spritz around them. That would create a really, really nice background, I think. I think it would be lovely. Okay, let's stick that onto there. Now, because these are water-based, I've used double-sided tape. If you feel that it's coming off, it's not grabbing, maybe use some of our construction glue just to actually make sure that sticks in place. It's not that the tape is not any good, it's because anything water-based can actually stop it sticking, so that's why. Look at that. I am really loving that clean and simpleness of that. Let's put a few little gems on there and then we'll come back to spritzing some more. And if we grab our let's see, have we got in here? Yes, we have. Look at these. Our festive diamond sparkle pearls are going to work perfectly on here because look at the colours. So let's do, I think we'll do the medium sized ones, I think. And I'm just going to put them in the corners here. Just brings that green in. Like that. What you could do as well is you could actually put a piece of holly, a little sprig of holly on here. I quite like it just like that. You know, just nice and simple. You could,
really nice,
isn't it nice with those colours, the bright red and then that lovely apple green, which is quite limey, but look how clean it is. You could, if you wanted to as well, of course, you could take one of our fine liner brush markers, use the fine tip end and go around inside there, or you could do dots, you could do, you know, dotted lines that look like faux stitching, but I really like the simpleness of that. And I really like as well the effect that you can create. You could do a bigger card, do somebody's name on it, you know, even a name with 5 or 6 letters. Let me hold that up and then you can see that from the front camera, but you can see how clean that is. And do you know what? It feels so lovely. I wish you could just feel it because the texture is really, really nice on there. Okay, so we're going to put that to one side, and what we're going to do now is we are going to use one of the embossing folders. If we take the embossing folder here like this, now it actually shows you how to do this in the handbook. So if we go to the handbook, let's find the page where it shows how you can do this. There are some different ideas. I think this is amazing if you've got like metal clocks and embellishments and things that you could put on. Look at these lovely effects you can create to make like a really nice masculine card. Now let's just go through it and find, I think it might be further back, might it? Emily will probably know better. Emily went through the handbook yesterday and said, oh, I really like this effect, I really like this effect. Let's have a look. It'll be the page that is further forward in the handbook as I thought, but I didn't actually get there. So let's keep going. There we go. So using Glimmer Mists with embossing folders. So these can create some really, really nice effects. And I thought, well, it'd be the best thing to show you with the actual embossing folder that has been used in the handbook. And basically, looking at that, right, this is just one page. How simple can that be? It says, you know, open the folder. So on here, and you can do it either way, you'll get a deboss or an emboss. But on here, it actually shows opening the folder that way and having the purple at the bottom. Spray the embossing folder several times so that it's very wet, and then you add some Ink Me cardstock, which we're going to do now. Put a piece of card through it, put it through the machine, and hey ho, you will have this effect. So let's do that. I'm going to grab a piece of Ink Me. Let me just put my book on there. So let's grab a piece of Ink Me, and we will do that. We've got some down here in the folder. So let's cut it to the right size. So I think this is actually 7 by 5 fold. So we'll use the big trimmer for this, just so that we can trim it to the right width and length. So we're going to go 5 by 7. So let's just get that onto there like that. And we will go there. And then we'll do 7 here. Like that. Okay, and then I'll pop the trimmer back up there. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to open the folder and pop this inside. So I'm going to choose some of the colours, and like we have in the actual handbook itself, we've used in there the gold like we did here at the beginning. We've used these colours, so I think we'll use those colours because then we might be able to put that onto a card with the sentiment and also use this as a background as well. So let's try that. So we're going to use, we want the gold, we want this one, the silver dollar, and we also want, what was the other one we wanted? This one. Let's move these out of the way, which is the bronze penny. So let's put these in here so we've got a little bit more room, and then we will do the rose as well. There's so much to in the room. It's going to take me 25 minutes to clear up in here, and I'll have to probably do the walls like the lady did who emailed it before. Let's make a bit of space. While we're just on this, we've got some top tips for you as well. So top tips are, and Emily's picked a few. These are all in the handbook as well. But if you want to, you can blow through a straw to create like a starburst effect. You can also use our masking sheets, which is what we've just shown you with the dies there, and that's how we did the joy card. Okay, so you can do that as well. Also, as we've shown you, if you're in a hurry or you want to do it quickly, then use heat gun to dry it off, and then use either a glass mat or a blending to blend your colours. You can use like a big acrylic block, plastic bag, a piece of acetate, common sense, CD rack. You can do all that kind of stuff. So let's get this spritz and let's put it through the machine. Now then, I usually use in the craft room, here's where I'm going to ask for your advice. Actually, as a Gemini user, I normally use the cut and boss, and I have one at home, which is what I use. I don't have the Gemini, so that's the one I always go to in the craft room. Now I'm going to use an embossing folder in here. You can probably tell me better than I can tell you which plate combination we use to actually put an embossing folder through there. I'm guessing we might take out the shim. I'm going to try it anyway, and the magnetic sheet, and just do these two plates, but we'll try it and see, because like I say, I'm not going to pretend. I don't use the Gemini very often. So let's get this spritzed first of all. So give it a good old shake, and remember we're doing it on the purple section. So we're going to go first of all with the Glamour Gold, and we're going to go on there like that. Then we're going to go with the silver, and this is called Silver Dollar. I like that title. And we need to make it quite wet. And then we're going to do some bronze penny. I like this one because it's quite dark, it's quite browny. Right, so you have to make it quite wet because remember it's got dips in it. Let's get a bit more gold on there. Okay, let's put this into here. So cardstock in there, like that. Press it down, and let's get that through the machine. Has anybody replied, Emily, on...
Sarah Ann Bird says, yes, you should just use those templates.
Excellent, thank you very much. That has made me more confident and to look less foolish live on here. That's always a good thing. I'm quite excited about this. Let's just clear this mess up while we are putting that through. Oh, this is exciting. I'm excited now to see what's happened here. The good thing is as well, you can always put it back through. With something like this, with an embossing folder, you can sometimes line it back up. Okay, let's see what we have created. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is quite amazing. This looks like something we found in an old drawer somewhere. So I better, before I go any further, wipe the ink off here, or else I'll get in trouble if somebody's making a beautiful white card, like Natalie will go crazy at me. Let's wipe that, and let's wipe this, then I know I'm not causing any problems with other people's projects. Right, so we're going to heat this up now and let's dry it off. Okay. Oh, we have, I think my heat gun's a bit hot and it does click off automatically, so that's okay for a minute. Let's wipe the embossing folder, and again with the embossing folder you can just wipe it clean or you can stick it under the tap. Remember, these are water-based Glimmer Mists, so it's not going to cause a problem. I will wash that after with my mask, which is down here on my cardstock. Okay, let's throw that in a bit. Okay, so let's try it, see if this is back on. It has, yeah, there we go. So let's just heat this a little bit here. It's got some really, really lovely like gold flecky bits showing up in it, which is really nice. Okay. Ooh, it's going like quite sheeny. That's really nice. And I thought it was nice to do it in the same colours that we've done it in the handbook, because then you can see that it does actually work and we haven't just pretended and taken a picture and said, look at this. You can actually recreate exactly what you've seen in there. Okay, so what we'll do once that's fully dry, we will trim it down and we'll put it onto some gold mirror. And then we will we'll use some of this background as well, I think. Oh, it's just spinning around on its own. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do that in a sec. We're going to get some gold mirror, which we've got here. I wonder if that piece is big enough. Oh my goodness, it's totally perfect. Okay, so we've got here an A5 card blank. And I've also got one of our dies. So I think I'm going to put the die through the machine, cut it from some gold mirror, and that can go in the middle. Okay, that's the wrong way. I need my magnetic sheet at the top. So let's take this onto a bit of gold as well. In fact, we'll use that bit of gold, I think. So I just grab a bit of my tape. So remember, we've got the low tack tape as well, which you can just use to secure your die. You can tear it as well, so it's really useful. Let's do that. So let's stick that on there. Then I'm going to trim this down, because if this goes right through the machine, it will get marks on it, because our plates are quite well used and I can use that piece for something else. So I'm being a bit careful here so I don't waste any of the gold mirror. Right, so let's trim this down now. So get my guillotine, trim it down like this, and trim the white bit off here like that, so we're kind of even all the way around. All right, let's grab our grating here. There we go. So that's die cut beautifully. That's just popped out. This says all we need is each other, and I think that is going to sit in the middle of here like this, so it's going to really kind of lift that gold out of there. So we're going to tape this, so double-sided tape, and again, as with anything that you emboss or put through an embossing folder, sometimes it warps a little bit, so just get plenty of tape on all the way around like that, and then it should flatten out onto your project. And don't forget, put a couple of pieces down the middle. So very often it does stretch it a bit, and that will just help hold it in place. Okay, let's get the backing off here. And don't forget, these embossing folders today, in fact all the embossing folders on the website, I'm right, aren't I, Emily? £2.99 just for today, half price only for today. And the masks, all the masks are £1, which is pretty amazing as well. My card's a little bit wet there, so that's why that's not coming off quite as easily. So if I go from this end and lift off the back in there. So you might want to let yours dry for a little bit longer. I'm obviously up against time here. So it's going to, when it's wet, it doesn't grab the tape very well. So, but you can do it as well on the debossed side. So you would just spray the white part of the embossing folder, like the clear part, and do exactly the same as we just did. Pass it through the machine. Now you can see how that's flattened out quite nicely now with the tape on there, and it will grab more. As it dries, it's still a little bit damp, so I would just definitely let yours dry off properly before you try and stick it on. Let's just, I think we just need to trim a little bit more off there, just a fraction, like that, and then we'll go along the bottom here, like that. Okay, so that's really quite nice now. Now it's on the gold as well. It looks really kind of quite expensive, doesn't it? I really like that effect. And what we will do now, I think, let me find my card blank. Let's cover the card blank in gold as well. So if we cut the gold to, I'm going to use that end because it's a bit tidier, 5 7/8. Okay, so we'll put this onto the card blank like that, and I'm going to use for that my trusty construction glue because it's to hand here, and it was a new tube that I opened yesterday, so it's actually nice and quick to use because it's full. So let's get that onto there like that, and then we're going to use the original piece that we made at the beginning with the 3 colours on that we've done our card in. So we're going to trim this down. This is going to go, because we used a piece of mirror at 5 7/8, we'll do this to, I think we'll do this to 5 3/4. We might need to trim a tiny bit more off, but we can look at that in a second. Okay, just so that we get, oh no, I think that's as much as we need to do on there. And then we'll take a little bit off the end. There's a little spritzed bit there which I've lined up. So that should be fine. Okay, so we're going to put that on with double-sided tape. Because again, we've wet the cardstock. It's kind of, you know, misshapen it just a tiny bit, because that's what happens when you put water on anything, as you know. So again, if you go all around the edge with your tape and then a piece down the middle, like that. Have we had any other questions, Emily, or not?
No, everyone just really enjoyed your demo.
Have they?
Yeah, I'd say it looks great. It would look great with an old sepia photo.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. I bet it would be nice as well if I just grab it. You know, some of our gorgeous grunge cardstock that we've got here. Oh, yeah. I bet it'd been really nice to do it on there, because again, it's matte-tastic, so it would grab the colour and the mica, and it would dry really quickly as well. So it'd be nice if you treated yourself to any of that, then, you know, get it out and try it with the mists. Okay, let's just pop that onto there. So we've got a very thin edge on there. Okay. And then we've got our lovely panel here. It does look really old, doesn't it? It's really, really old. And then again, we've got our little, all we need is each other, which I'm going to put on with some glue in a sec. I'll use some construction glue, so that will go onto there like that. We can do as well some, let's do some, we'll put a few gold gems on as well, so it just brings out that that gold in there as well. Oh, in fact, what if we've got any of, we have, our sepia ones might be nice, because we've got this paler gold which is more like that, so we can put some of those on. So let's put this on with some construction glue. So this would be like quite nice, you know, as a card for your partner on an anniversary. All we need is each other. It would be nice for a wedding, actually, something like this. It's a bit different, and it's a bit kind of crazy. This is going to go in the middle here, so let's do that now. And then I've got 1 or 2 other little things to show you before we finish. Obviously, we can't show you everything that you could do. There's lots of the ideas that we have done today in the handbook, and there's lots of things that you can try yourselves. You know, if I show you everything, then it's not as fun when you get the handbook home. Let me just grab my little tissue here. I've got a clean tissue just to press that down on there, so that, and then any strings of glue I can pick off there with my poking tool once that's just grabbed. Like that. Let's just, that D doesn't want to stick down there. I'm just going to grab a little bit of construction glue on my finger, put it underneath, like that. There we go, that's better. And then we can get some of our gems. So let's do, I think we'll do 3 of these at the top. So we'll do 3 big ones there, like that. And then the same at the bottom. Oh, I've got a rogue gold one there that's just jumped on. Because I said I would show you what it looked like on a flower, which I'll do. And then on the little dimensional card front as well. Now remember, you can use these with your water brushes. You can actually spritz them onto your mat or your acrylic block and then get a normal paintbrush, or you can actually use your water brush as well. Okay, let's just pop that back on there out of the way and show you. I really like this. I think it's a bit crazy, isn't it? But let me hold it up to the front camera and then you can see. And it's really quite heavy. But you can see that's just using, we've not really done anything apart from spritzed it from the bottle and then spritzed it onto the embossing folder. You know, and if you just spend all your time doing that, you can see how we've created like crazy backgrounds, you know, like the ones we did at the beginning here with cling film. We've put it onto the acetate, you know, we've done it on the, which is amazing. It looks really, really good on acetate. We've done it onto the mirror. This is mine and Emily's favourite. But you could then use, remember we did the knitted heart through the mask? That would go perfect on there because we've used that same pink. So that would be good on there. I might actually make something with that later when I've got 5 minutes. But then I wanted to just show you as well. Let's try spritzing the white just so that we know whether this works or not. Now remember, this is not porous. The dimensional card front is not porous. So we're going to spritz it onto here. We're going to have to leave it. But you'll be able to see it if I put black card underneath. When I spritz onto it, you'll be able to see it on the overhead camera, how we create that snowy effect. Because let's give that a good spray. Now you could do it on the front or you could do it on the inside. I think I would do it on the inside, and I'm going to do it from quite high up. Oh my goodness me. I know this is very faint for you, but I'm going to lift it up. I've done 3 very fine spritzes there. If I lift it up, you can see how that has created like a snowy window. So I think that's really nice to do on with your decoupage and your toppers for Christmas. It would work really, really nicely over your decollage as well. But it's a very fine mist. But you can see we've got some little blobs. You'd have to put that away and let that dry just overnight. It will dry fine and then you can use it as normal. But it might be, you know, a really nice idea, and I don't know if this would work. Let's just show you before we kind of finish. If I grab, I'm going to grab that paintbrush there. Right, just to see if we spritz it on the mat there, if it would work if we actually painted it on the bottom here like this. So it might do, just give you that like kind of snowy effect. If you imagine you're going to put that over like a wintry top or something. I didn't think it would work, but I think it will. I think because if it was just a water, it was just water with like pigment in, I don't think it would dry. But I think because we've got mica in there, the mica is what helps it hold. So you can see now that we've done like a snowy panel in the bottom, so that when it dries, you've actually got, you could put it over like a little snow scene or something. So it will work if I lift it up. If we turn it over, as though we were using it, it would actually work like a snowy window. You put some glitter in there as well. That's just another simple way of using it. Let's just spritz this flower as well. What colour do you reckon? Orange. Okay, because it is a peach coloured flower. Let's just grab my box and we'll do it in the box, and then it's oh my goodness, you should see the mess in here. It's absolutely worse than my house. Honestly, it's terrible. Okay, so let's get this ball bearing going in here. That's it, it's going now. Okay, and let's just give a little spritz on top of the flower just to oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at it. It's gorgeous. Look at it. Oh, I think that's my favourite thing of the day. Oh my goodness, look at it. It's so lovely. It's so pretty. I love that. It's actually made it look like more like a real flower, hasn't it, than it did before. But can you imagine doing it all over a bunch of flowers? That's worked really nicely. Let's just check on our cone and see. What does it say? Cone but not forgotten. Oh no, it's gone, isn't it? So it has got a little bit of a sheen on it. It's only subtle, but it has got, it's still not totally dry either. It's got a bit of red coming through and a little bit of copper and a little bit of silver as well. I think once it's totally dry, I can see the sheen from here on the red in particular. I think it will, you know, it will definitely show up more. Did we have anything else that we'd done that we'd put to one side that needed to dry? I don't think we had we? But we just, if you get that handbook as well, you'll be able to see, you can do a multitude of things. I've just barely touched the surface, basically using it, spritzing and showing what you can put it onto as opposed to doing lots of other painty things with it. But you can paint with it. You can use your low tack tape to cordon off areas on your card and spritz different colours in between, and then add a stitched effect. There's loads and loads and loads of things. I would just advise that you do get yourself a cardboard box to do it in. Wear an apron or don't wear your best clothes, because it does go everywhere, but it does come off because it's water based, but the mica does stick a little bit. If there's any questions that you've got after, or once we've gone off air, or there's anything that you need help with or that you want to know about, just let us know. You know, go onto our Facebook Live page and actually ask some questions. We must just remind you about that Win It Weekly competition, which is going on all week. You've got today, tomorrow, and probably till about 10:30, 10:45 on Friday to actually enter to win the Just a Note topper collection, which is beautiful. It's got toppers in and it's got printed and foiled cardstock as well, inspiration sheet, lovely kind of vintage themes as well. These would have worked really nicely with that card actually, because they're I think this is on Matastic as well, is it or not? Yes, it is. It says on the bottom it's on Matastic. So again, you could use your spritzers on this too. I hope we've just given you a few ideas. If you've not used your mists, you know, definitely get them out and spritz them. Even if you only spritz them onto a big canvas, you can put them on canvas bags. You can do the effect where you spritz and then just hold it up and put loads on, let it drip. All these are things that are in the handbook as well. So you'll find that really helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got a bit messy and I'm going to be cleaning up for quite some time, I think. Yeah, should we give them both away?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let me. What did all the other ones on the shelf? I've already displayed it like Olivia. Okay, so we'll give the Joy one away, and we'll give the All We Need Is Each Other away. What do we need people to do, Emily? Do we just
We'll pop it on your Facebook.
pop it on my Facebook page? See which.
You can choose the winner.
Okay, or you let us know which one you would like best, and then we'll have a look and see at the comments maybe in a day or two, see which one you would prefer to win, and then we'll get these sent out to you. We won't sign them because you might want to send it to somebody, and but we'll do that. We'll just put a comment on which one you want, either the Joy or the gold one, and we will choose two winners later on in the week and get these sent out to you. Thank you everyone for watching today. We hope if you've got the Glimmer Mists, get them out and have a play with them, and maybe upload some of your projects on our blog. And also, if you've not got them though, do consider getting them while they're at this price, because we only do these really great deals when they're linked into either one of our Hunky Dory TV shows or our Technique shows. So just, you know, get on the website if you want these for yourselves or for a present. It's a really great deal. It's less, is it?
£30 off.
Yeah, it is. £30 off. It's almost half price, not quite half price. But definitely grab yourself these or grab them for someone. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we will see you. I should just tell you this, actually, because I think we've got a couple more things to tell you before we go. On Friday, we've got Pauline on Create and Craft. She's actually doing some shows at 9 in the evening with up to 50% off our Life of Leisure collection. So there's going to be some good deals on there. I'm saying forgetting all this because I'm just thinking, you know, it's not a regular show. We've actually got some inserts which we're going to put in our rollover box. Now, interestingly enough, these have actually sold out, and this is our last ever pack. So we're going to put that in the rollover box. And then our next Facebook Live show will be tomorrow at 10, because tomorrow we are beginning our 12 days of Christmas event, which we hope you will tune in for. Oh, who writes these?
I do.
Oh gosh, goodness me. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that will be, who's that with? Is that with Dan and Natalie?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan and Natalie will be with you tomorrow for that one at 10 a.m. So until then, have a nice evening. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.